What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin here with another movie review. Today I'm reviewing the 2021 fantasy adventure anime film The Deer King, which came out in 2021. I don't know if I said that. It's 2 hours long. It's directed by Masashi Ando and Masayuki Miyaji, who both worked for Hayao Miyazaki and Satoshi Kon. This film was released in the West by G Kids, which I think is like owned by Disney, isn't it? And the movie in Japan was released by Toho. It's based off a fantasy novel by Nahoko Yuhashi, and they're not showing me the English cast, which the English cast features Ray Chase as the lead, and you have like Michelle Ruff, Michael Sinter, Klaus, the guy from who voiced Dean Venture in Venture Bros, and you have Keith Silverstein as Ophon. So yeah, the Japanese cast is Shinichi Tsuchiyomi as Vaughn, Ryoma Takahashi as Hosa, Toru Sakurai as Maku-chan, and Watanabe as Seiya, Satoshi Hino as Shikan. So, I think we all know the reason why we all watch this movie. This movie was based off the trailers. It was giving off a lot of Princess Mononoke vibes, which Princess Mononoke was the very first, well, one of the very first anime films I've ever owned on back. This is how long ago it was. VHS is when I owned it, when I initially owned it, which I have it on DVD now. And it was like one of the first anime films I ever owned, and was the first Hayao Miyazaki film I ever watched. So for that reason alone, I had to watch the movie, and I gotta say, it definitely was not as good as Princess Mononoke. That movie is basically a masterpiece. Though I don't, as a critic, I personally don't believe in masterpieces. But Princess Mononoke to me would probably be, if not a 9 out of 10, at least an 8 out of 10. This, at best, was a 6 or a 7. We'll figure it out by the end of the review. But yeah, the movie just did not deliver. There was some CGI. The story, like a lot of the movie, there's like, you can't tell me the writer of this film did not watch Princess Mononoke. If not, which, yeah, it came out in 2014, so he probably did, because this movie, like, a lot of stuff was pretty much taken from Princess Mononoke. I don't want to go all razor fist, so like, oh, they ripped off Elric of Bone. Everybody's ripping off Michael Moorcock. I don't want to go like that crazy. But yeah, this movie did not feel like an homage. It felt more like, okay, we were ripping off Princess Mononoke. But this movie's basically Last of Us meets Princess Mononoke, to the point where it has like a similar ending. Oh, well, not really, but close. Like, themes wise, it was basically, the movie takes place in a fantasy world where it's about like it takes place in the kingdom of Aquafa, where that lost a war against an invading empire called the Zodians, and now they're being oppressed, and they're taking over, right? So our main character Vaughn was a legendary warrior that was part of this group of warriors called the Lone Antlers that ride on deers, and he lost his family to an epidemic, and by the end of the war he became a slave and was working in a mine. While working at the mine, the mine gets attacked by a pack of black wolves, which they call dogs, but they look like wolves, that basically go around attacking, killing everybody, and whoever doesn't straight up get killed by the wolves, though they call them dogs, they're fucking wolves, die from a strange disease called the Mutuo. And during the scenes with the wolves, they're covered in like this black goop, kind of like the demon at the end of Princess Mononoke. And like a lot of the supernatural elements of the movie, it's hard to tell is it's like actually supposed to happen, or is only like the main character can see that. Because there is supernatural stuff in the movie where okay, everybody can see it, like when certain characters stop arrows by turning them into trees and shit. But like there are other scenes where it's like people aren't really reacting to the supernatural shit. It's just the main character. So yeah, what happens? Our main character, because of the attack on the mine, is able to free himself, and he takes the only other survivor, which is a little girl, right? Which I totally forgot her name already. Yuna, I think was her name. Yuna. Well, Yuna wasn't her full name, but yeah, it was her nickname. Who was like a little girl, right? And during the attack at the mine, he gets bitten by a wolf, and he gets the disease, but it doesn't kill him. In fact, it gives him like super strength, just like how the main character Ashitaka gets super strength after getting cursed by the demon boar. But instead of a demon boar, it's like a demon wolf or dog. Right. So yeah, what happens is that the emperor is doing a visit to the Aquifa, and the Mutsuo, the disease, is going around killing Zillion. So our another main character of ours, Hosa, who is a priest doctor, and his male companion, who's like a former knight, go on a journey to try to find Vaughn, the only survivor of the Mutsuo, so they can find a cure of the Mutsuo, right? While that's going on, there are people still loyal to Aquafilis or Aquifa and want to kill the Emperor, and at the same time want to kill Vaughn because their only defense against the occupying empire is by using the Mutsuo against them, right? So they want to kill him. While all that's going on, Vaughn and Yuna are having a peaceful life at a village where they're teaching people how to train and ride pukas, which are the deer that the main character rides, right? And only for his daughter to get kidnapped by a pack of the black wolves, and our main character has to go on a journey with the hunter woman Sei, who at first wanted to kill him, but because she feels sympathetic to his situation, joins them, and also the priest doctor joins the party as well. At one point, I was getting D&D vibes from the movie. Yeah. So what did I think? I'm just gonna go with my final thoughts because I don't want to spoil the whole fucking movie. Yeah. Nowhere. It's the thing where there's not enough action scenes throughout the movie. And when action scenes are there, aren't like, that impressive, to be honest. Like the villains pretty much wipe themselves out, which I thought was kind of dumb. Especially they went to a lot of trouble of hyping up the main character, only for the main character not to do much in the movie. Alright, and then there's the thing where this is going to be a spoiler. I won't spoil it, but basically the movie has a lukewarm ending for no fucking reason. Where, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, it has this ending where it's like, okay, why the fuck did that character do that? And only for time to pass, and it's like, oh, he he or she may have undid the decision, right? You'll know if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And though I would say there are some good visuals in the movie, and the music was good, but overall, it kind of like there's like no real reason like to watch the movie ever again. Honestly, like to be honest, like this movie, like there are movies that are kind of like Princess Mononoke that I would recommend over watching this. Like Sword of the Stranger, that was a movie that even though that didn't take place in a fantasy world, that one did a good job of having that was basically a fun action adventure movie, right? And this movie reminded me more of like some of the scenes in the movie, especially the art style, reminded me a lot of that. But like obviously, this movie was an homage to Mononoke, Princess Mononoke, to the point where it felt like it was ripping off. And there's bad voice acting in the movie as well. Like they got real kids to voice the kids, and the kids, I'm sorry to say, were very bad voice actors. And the voice actor, the even some of the more famous voice actors who you heard in lots of anime and stuff did not do that good of a job either. And there was, and on the subtitles, I had both the subtitles and the English dub because you know sometimes the sound mixing is bad in these movies in general, so it's hard to tell what the people are saying. And then another reason why I have the subtitles on is so I can learn characters' names easier. The dub and the English, the voice cast, the subtitles did not match up to the point where I wondered, okay, were they doing some censorship? I don't know, but like, yeah, because some of the shit did not match up at all. But any other than that, yeah, the movie, it's just like the thing is the movie's not bad. Like I had a fun time. I didn't have a fun time, but I was entertained. But the ending, the climax felt like a little weak, and it was very fucking predictable. The movie was like how the one guy cures the disease. It's like okay, yeah, I saw that coming. But it was like, yeah, it's just like the movie, I don't know. It's the thing where it's like, I honestly don't see myself ever watching this movie again. Unless I rewatch Princess Mononoke and I feel like the need to watch another thing like Princess Mononoke. Maybe I would rewatch this movie again, but I would probably rewatch Sword of the Stranger. Because Sword of the Stranger, like, that's a movie that has, that not only has a good story, but has really fun and well animated action scenes that makes the movie worth watching more than once. Here, I don't see myself watching this movie, you know, like again. Maybe I mean, obviously I will maybe at some point because I do have the Blu-ray. But yeah, because to me, for a movie to be rated higher than a 7, it has to have rewatchability, and the movie does not really, unless you really like the characters and you really like the visuals. So yeah, I don't like giving 6.5 out of 10 ratings too often because I feel like I do that a lot. But yeah, this is a movie where it's like it's better than average, but it's not necessarily good. It's like, you know, it's close. And like Tales of Earthsea is another movie that's like that also has Princess Mononoke vibes. That movie, for all the faults that people give that movie has rewatchability, right? Here, because that movie has a unique and visually stunning, you know, fantasy world, where here it's like they didn't really, even though it does look very fantastical, they didn't really go into detail with the world building, right? Yeah. So yeah, there was only like, yeah, it's a thing where, yeah, just check it out, but don't cry to me when like the movie's, you know, it wasn't that good, okay? Because the movie, it's almost good. It's like almost good, but it's not really. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Peace.